Hi again, everyone. Scott Pirate Popcorn fan here, and in this video, it's kind of going to be a bit of more of a serious kind of video, while also still being a bit of a review, because just yesterday there was the sad news that the director of the original Superman 1978 film passed away, Richard Donner, who Richard Donner, he directed the original Superman film that came out in 1978, which left behind a new generation of filmmakers and fans that lasted for decades. And the director, Richard Donner, he passed away just yesterday, and he at the age of 91, so he lived a long life. And I just want to take a moment for this video, for like a moment of silence, to honor him and remember his legacy as a filmmaker who definitely changed Hollywood. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit more of a serious video, just to pay respect to Richard Donner. So take a moment of silence. So yeah, the original Superman 78 film, it's a movie that I did grow up watching because my dad was a Superman fan, and it's a movie that really changed my view on the superhero genre. Because when I first saw the movie, like, I was probably like a young, I think like maybe like 8 or 9 years old. I remember seeing that movie with my whole family, with my dad, my mom, my sister, and I just remember it being something different that definitely helped me understand the superhero genre a little bit more. And because before I saw the original 78 film, I had already seen the Spider-Man films. So it's the Superman film that came out in 78 with Christopher Reeves, and it's a movie that's very iconic for its time, even though, like, some people might argue that the movie's a little dated, and you can kind of see that with those older Superman films. But for what that original film did, and made by Richard Donner, it made superheroes in the public eye of the mainstream. And before that movie came out in 1978, people didn't really take that genre very seriously for the superhero characters in comics. It wasn't really taken all that seriously, and what Richard Donner did with that original Superman film, it changed people's perceptions of the superhero genre. People took it a little bit more seriously, and ever since then, that original film continues to influence filmmakers and fans, which is why a lot of superhero films now continue to reference that original Superman film for what it did for the genre. And it's something that you just take with a value, because it's just such a great film for what it did at the time and for changing Hollywood. And Richard Donner, he didn't just make the original Superman film, he helped produce the first X-Men film, which came out in the year 2000, I believe. He also worked on the Lethal Weapon movies. I've never seen the Lethal Weapon movies, but I've heard about them. And he also directed The Omen, which is a 1970s horror film about the Antichrist. So not just Superman, like Richard Donner, he worked on a lot of movies. And ironically enough, he worked with Kevin Feige on making that original X-Men film, which started the X-Men franchise. So Kevin Feige, being the main guy working on all the MCU movies today, it's just something that you see with how much influence Richard Donner had on the superhero genre, and in film, in Hollywood, and in the comic book fandom. And it's just something remarkable, and I'll always appreciate that original Superman 78 film for what it did, and what it did for me too, as well, as a huge Superman fan now. Granted, like, I did grow up watching the Superman films, but it wasn't until Smallville that I really grew a really big appreciation for the character as a whole. But I did grow up watching those movies, and I really just latch on to that character, and what the character means is something that Richard Donner helped, you know, build and create in the minds of millions for decades, and it will continue to be an influence on filmmakers and fans for even more decades after now. So it will always be remembered as something very special. And the original director, Richard Donner, he's one of the greats as a filmmaker and as someone who just left such a big impact on Hollywood and on everyone, and I will always remember Richard Donner as a director for that. So yeah, the original Superman 78 film, it's a movie with really good music, really good acting from Christopher Reeves as Superman, and Margot Robbie as Lois Lane, Margot Kidder. Margot Kidder, the original actress that played Lois Lane, and some of the other actors in that movie as well, just will always be remembered as some of the greats in Hollywood, for celebrities too. And just, it's an amazing film with the score, and even though, yes, it does feel dated, it's just something to always remember as a classic in the superhero genre, which is why I am going to give Superman, the original 1978 film, an A+. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is a bit more of a serious topic, but that's because of Richard Donner passing away just yesterday, and it's, you know, it's serious to talk about because, you know, he passed away just yesterday, as I've mentioned a couple times now. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.